Thank you so much for having me, and especially coming to my humble home. Um, Elegance is a prominent magazine, and I'm really honored to be part of it, given that it's led by a young woman, very inspiring woman leader, also with the support of people like you, very, very gender sensitive. My profile is coming with 35 years of development, international development management experience, administrator, agent for women and youth empowerment. I'm also a trainer in development management, that is planning. I've worked with the United Nations Development Program for 22 years, and also a civil society agent, very active in civil society empowerment. I'm also a humanitarian, given the fact that my parents are philanthropists, so I got that from my parents. I'm very much into a passion, very passionate about democratic governance, particularly inclusive governance, which of course will look into uh, taking opportunities, providing opportunities for young people, for populations in general, particularly vulnerable groups, to empower them to have a decent life, which is a fundamental human right. I'm also a politician by default. I was a technocrat, but up till 15 years ago, I decided to come back, leave my job, and come to Gambia to support the democratization process. And fortunately for me, I played an instrumental role, a key role in bringing, I must say that I'm one of the architects of those who brought together the 7 political parties, 2 national independent assembly members, and also civil society to form a coalition in 2016 that uprooted a 22-year dictator from our country. I'm a Democrat by nature. I like, when I say good governance, is of course democracy. I like to really promote the champion the rights of people, because rights, I feel, are inalienable. It's something we are born with and we should be proud of and be engaged with. So this is a short profile of myself. Um, I like helping people, helping, because when you help people, it's like helping yourself. Helping yourself, the satisfaction you have in leadership is the satisfaction that you will leave behind other people to emulate your leadership. So as a trainer, I'm a training of trainers. I was trained by UNDP. And I train not only in how to design projects, how to mobilize resources. My strength is mobilizing resources, fundraising, you know. And I'm a believer in Africa. I believe Africa has all the endowed resources, and that if we look inwardly and we manage our resources properly, we would be able to develop Africa. I am vying for this position for Deputy Chairperson of the African Union Commission, simply because I think I'm convinced that I can contribute to advancing the agenda, particularly the reform agenda. I've worked in UNDP Liberia also, where you had peace and security. Peace and security, I've worked there. I also am very strong in building institutions, starting training people, providing them opportunities, and ensuring that we have strong institutions. Because when you talk about governance, it's about strong institutions that are able to promote the agenda of any country. In a nutshell, this is my humble background. Perhaps I should end with the fact that I I'm a linguist. I'm a bilingual. I speak fluently English and French. I studied from the university, starting from childhood. I was in Armitage boarding school. I was one of the first 11 girls and the first head girl. And after that, I got married very young, at the age of 16. And after having children, 4 children, I decided to go to private school. And here I am today. It shows like when you are self-motivated, you are disciplined, you have a dream, you can follow your dream and achieve your dream. I think education and experience is very important and relevant to any discipline. With the 35 years of experience that I've had, as I said, in the United Nations system, in government, up to rising to the position of Vice President of my country, I have those experiences and the expertise that I have as a technocrat would help me to really advance the work of the African Union, particularly the deputy chairperson position, which is mandated to really manage the financing and the administration of the African Union. It's the backbone of the African Union Commission. So I believe that I can make a difference in terms of when I go, I will look at what obtains, look at the programs in place, study them, work with the people that I'm going to work with, and look at how best we can improve the programs, particularly in terms of accountability, in terms of having functioning and efficient systems, having transparent recruitment of people, recruitment and attracting also the human capital Africans. Because if you look at the African agenda, it's based on reconnaissance, our African heritage and renaissance, which requires the Africans to drive the agenda. So with that in mind, we will look at ensuring that we have the best people in place that to work for the Commission, African Commission, that we provide them with opportunities and incentives to be able to retain them, because Africa has the human capital. Look at, if you start from small Gambia, you look around, you find a lot of competent people. But most of our people are now in the diaspora. So for the African Union, we will be trying to promote the human capital, African capital that is outside, social capital, financial capital, to come on board and help the union to prosper. Also, I would be engaging other people, since it's administration and finance. I would have to be engaging all the stakeholders within the African Union and the particular African Commission. That is looking at what their constraints are in terms of services, looking at the delivery, the quality of delivery, the efficiency, because institutions must be efficient. If they must be efficient to be able to deliver their mandate. I would also like to support the chairperson, whoever God is going to give the position, supporting him in mobilizing resources, particularly focusing on internal resources in Africa before we look outside. We need to be creative as leaders, more creative, more outwardly, inwardly, and then outwardly. We also want to look at how we can implement the agenda, because the agenda is an overarching agenda, overarching objectives. You're talking about peace and security, quality education. You're talking about climate change, food security. You're talking about women and youth empowerment. You're talking about trade. Just 2 years ago, we signed an agreement, which is the Inter-African Trade Agreement, which is established. The seat headquarters is in Ghana. That also we would be championing women and youth to really participate and benefit from that program. Because if you look at Africa poverty, we're still poor. You look at all the development goals that have been adopted by the United Nations systems, by the African Union also, but if you leverage that, you find that Africa is still poor, and we don't deserve to be poor because we have all the resources. God has given us resources. So as a woman, you know, women, with nothing we can create a lot. So with the little resources we have, we would see how much of those resources we will manage efficiently. And whatever I'm able to support the leadership to bring on board, we will see how best we can manage it. Of course, we need to also look at the pressing needs affecting Africa, like coronavirus. We are now affected by coronavirus, whether many people, we are losing human capital in terms of people are losing their lives globally. And in Africa also comparatively, where we have very poor health systems, is affecting Africa. So we're losing social capital, economic capital. So that is also going to be part of my agenda, where whatever we are doing, we would have to put those pressing issues. We're also having the Sahel. The Sahel is a hot seat where you have a lot of conflict, a lot of political crisis in Africa. So as a woman, a woman's leader, and having had experience in those areas, I think I can contribute to really transforming and improving the agenda and those in different programs. Of course, working with the people. No one knows it all. You have to work with the people. You have to cherish. You have to get the best out of people. And how do you do it? You motivate them. You work with them. As a trainer also, that would also give me an advantage, looking at where the weaknesses are and how best we can really train and retrain, because things are moving. And in order to be competent, you really have to learn and unlearn. I'm always learning. At my age, I'm still learning. You go everywhere, you have books. Because you cannot be a leader, you cannot influence decisions or policies, especially as a woman, when you don't know it. So from the position of bargaining, position of influence, you really have to know it. So this is my journey. This is the dream that I have. And I am confident that with God's help and the support that I'm getting from Gambians, within 2 weeks, within this moment, really we have built a great moment. Everybody in the diaspora, Gambians, non-Gambians, everybody's out helping in the campaign. And I really appreciate that. I'm humbled by that. And I do hope that when I win by next week, 6th of February, we will all rejoice. Because my victory is not going to be my victory. It's going to be Gambia's victory. It's going to be Gambia's victory, Gambia's pride. It's going to be African victory. Because in the Constitutive Act of the African Union, to which I contributed immensely, I was one of the women architects who lobbied for that gender parity in the African Union. We went to launch it in 2002 when they were launching the African Union. We lobbied for it. We ensured that it was part of the provision where you now have gender parity. That's why if you have the chair as a male, the chairperson automatically becomes a female. And importantly, it is the first time that we are going to have a female chairperson, deputy chairperson. So that also is very encouraging. So my work is not only going to be in an air-conditioned room, but I'm going to do leg work, I'm going to talk, I'm going to dialogue, I'm going to negotiate, and I would try to see as much as women coming to the table to negotiate, because we know that if you put women in leadership, definitely you will see results.
Thank you very much, Ma. We wish you success, and we say we wish you triumph on the 6th of February.
Yes.
It's once more having you on this special interview. Do you have any closing remarks?
Yes, closing remarks is to thank Elegance for coming to my humble home, and because for a long time she has tried really to get me, and each time there was conflicting schedules. But today I'm honored and humbled that you are here to engage me it shows that she is also promoting. If you look at most of your magazines, you find profiles of women, and that is encouraging. It's inspiring other women to come up, to speak out, and to feel, part of the process, part of the development process, and part of social progress. So I thank everyone, Gambian, non-Gambian, because you are here, young men, I'm so proud to see you working with a lady leader. It's very challenging, but you accept her as a leader, you're cooperating with her, you're supporting her, you're in the technical background, which is also very important. So thank you very much, Elegance. I am praying that God continues to bless your work, all of you, because you are contributing. Media is my friend. I'm a fan of the media because when we talk and we work without the media, nothing goes out. People don't hear, people don't understand. So you are very instrumental in educating and creating awareness of what is happening in and around Africa, in and around the Gambia. For Gambia, I wish her all the best. We are going to come for elections December. I wish her all the best and wish all the African countries that are going through the electoral process that peace and stability range. And for the coronavirus, we pray that I'm praying every day, every moment that God buries coronavirus and that we never have any pandemic in the world to come. That also I'm calling on everyone to help, particularly our political leaders, to work on education so that more people can have access and affordability in education, access to very good healthcare systems, access to social security, because the agenda has to start from what you do from the country level. Then you take that to the continental level. I also pray that the African trade agreement that was signed 2 years ago, that we see more women and youth participating and benefiting from that program. Entrepreneurship, the private sector is catalyst, is the main source of employment, and we cannot fight poverty or social exclusion or peace. If you look at all the wars that are coming around the world, mainly is poverty, social exclusion. So with the resources we have, if we use that to empower our people, particularly at the continental level, of course, with the determination of all the time bearing in mind our cultural, our African heritage and renaissance, we will really move Africa forward. So thank you so much. God bless Africa. And I do hope that when I become the winner by next Saturday, I'll continue my journey with Elegance, with other media outlets, and also with the campaign. You see the campaign that is going on. My daughter Khadija Tambajang and her team, Remy and Kenny, and the other gentleman, Remy Tolu. They've been really fantastic, doing fantastic job. And even other countries, you have other networks. You have the AWIF, African Women Innovation and Entrepreneur Forum. You have the Mutela Foundation. You have, today I had the CNBC interview. I had the Associated Press this morning. I'm lined up for CNN and BBC tomorrow, next week. So all these people are reaching out to me, not the most qualified, the most educated, but probably PR is very important. And the support I'm getting is overwhelming from all women, youth, and elderly, everywhere. So for the other scholars, I just want them just pray for us, for Gambia to win. Because as I say, my victory is Gambia's victory, it's Africa's victory, and it's victory for everyone. God bless you all.